Hello, welcome to this video about the full moon in Sagittarius. So as you can see, the full moon, I have already highlighted everything. So the moon is at 9 degrees 56 of Sagittarius, and exactly opposite to the moon is the sun in Gemini at 9:56 degrees. Also, and there in red, there is Jupiter, which is the ruler of this full moon. That's why I have highlighted it in red. And the only aspect that Jupiter is making is this conjunction with Venus. Okay, so Venus is now applying, coming closer to Jupiter. And in this video is what I'm going to speak about mainly. So yeah, this woman is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a mutable sign. It's a fire sign. Um, both Sagittarius and Gemini are mutable signs, and they are very adaptable and flexible. So this is definitely a lighter energy from what we have experienced previously, because this month of May so far, so this is our third lunation. Most of the time we have two lunations. Um, yeah, and then the first one of the months was this full moon that we had in Scorpio. And then 2 weeks ago, we had this new moon in Taurus. Although it was Taurus, it was still intense because, as I have said, and many other astrologers said, this was conjuncting this fixed star Algol. And so, yeah, the point is that we are now ending this month on a lighter note. Because, like I said in many of my videos, because I'm interested in it. I don't know why, but maybe because I have my Jupiter is just here at 1 degrees of Sagittarius. So I do experience this. And also my descendant is in the first 3 degrees of Sagittarius. Yeah, Sagittarius, because my ascendant is in the first 3 degrees of Gemini. So for some reason, I have these strong feelings every time, when the moon goes, anything goes from Scorpio to Sagittarius. I always feel this energy a lot. And so there is no doubt that this is, we feel the shift from the darkness into the light every time we cross Scorpio to Sagittarius. It's very like dark and light and night and day. So yeah, so this full moon is good news after all the intensity that we went through for the last months. Yeah, we are now leaving the intensity behind. And also we cannot complain because this full moon, the ruler is Jupiter, which as we is still exalted for another month. Now it's closing. This last month is the last month that Jupiter is going to be in Cancer before it moves into Leo. So there is that. And also Jupiter is conjunct with Venus. So they are the two most benefic together, two benefic planets together in Cancer when Venus is doing very well and also where Jupiter is exalted. So this is a good full moon. Uh, and although Jupiter, the ruler of the full moon, is not expecting the full moon, nonetheless, there is a mutual reception between the moon and Jupiter because the moon is in Jupiter sign, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And then Jupiter is in the moon sign because the moon rules Cancer. And also, not only is in the moon sign, but is happy to be there because Jupiter is exalted. So when a planet is exalted, one thing that it means is like someone is like a VIP guest. It's like if you go in someone's house and they'll just treat you like the king or the queen. Like so he gets a good treatment in Cancer. Therefore, he's happy and therefore he wants to make us happy as well. So, you can see it from this table here, you see Moon, Jupiter with a M and Jupiter, Moon with a M. That means there is a mutual reception, isn't it? And then that's nearly when there's a mutual reception, especially now when Jupiter is exalted, that's nearly as powerful as if there actually was an aspect. Yeah. And so when there is a full moon, yeah, the moon is reaching fullness exact uh, at 9:56 degrees. But a few days before, 3 days before, like now, a day before, isn't it? We are at the full moon phase. So yeah, it's the full moon now. And the full moon, again, it's always when the moon and the sun, they are across from each other. They are in opposition. And in opposition is a Saturnian aspect. Saturn. In opposition is a Saturnian aspect. And this is why when there is a full moon, such as now, we are bringing into our life in the Sagittarius area of our chart, in the Sagittarius house of our chart, and all its theme, we are bringing some kind of closure, completion, ending, isn't it? So because Saturn can have to do with endings as well. Uh, yeah, and so the moon is our soul, is facing, without the sun, which is our ego. And first of all, because the full moon is in Sagittarius, we have to remind ourselves that Sagittarius, so it's a very light, uh, fun energy. It's about optimism, adventure. It's truth. As Sagittarius is about seeking truth. Uh, However, in life, the truth is that there are no truths because everyone is simply projecting their own truth onto others. So that's the lesson also, of Sagittarius, because when we are Sagittarius, like I have myself not in Sagittarius and my Jupiter as well. But anyhow, yeah, we are always searching for truth. And then one day we realize that actually, anything could be true if we want to justify something to be true, we're always going to find some proof. Especially nowadays with the internet, isn't it? You can just find support for any of your opinion, for or against something. So Sagittarius is also about wisdom. And why wisdom? Because Sagittarius is about having the wisdom. It's the intuitive knowing. It's when you know something, but but unlike Gemini, when Gemini knows something because they have all the data, they have all the information to prove that they know something that is true. But with Sagittarius, it's more like you just intuit it. Your intuition knows something. Sometimes you can't explain why, but you just know it. You can see further in the future, and you just like, oh, I know this is what this is. And wisdom, Sagittarius is wisdom because it's about understanding that our actions have consequences. That's why wisdom is as well. That's why when it's not about the intellect, sometimes if someone just has wisdom, there are certain things that they will not do. They will have some integrity because they know that if I do this bad action, I will have some consequences. So in one way, to have wisdom makes us a better person. Um, that's why Sagittarius also represents religion because religious people, they are a bit like that, isn't it? Because they believe what the religious book says, and most of the religion says that if we do something bad, then isn't it there will be some negative consequences, and so often people who are religious, they have a lot of fears about not doing or doing certain things. That's why religion can control people's life. We fears that, are legitimate or not. Yeah, it's another conversation. The point of Sagittarius, it's a light energy because it's like happy-go-lucky energy. It's like, oh, you get this burst of inspiration and you trust it and you're like, oh, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to shoot my arrow. Sagittarius is symbolized by an arrow with a flame. This saint or this half man, half horse person shooting an arrow into the long-term goal, shooting, and aiming with one eye and aiming far in the future, aiming at the bigger picture of what we are focusing on that we want to do, where we want to go. So that's why it's like happy-go-lucky. It's like I will go for it. I will go and do it with optimism. I will have fun, and I trust it's all going to work out. So that's why the shadow with Sagittarius, the downside is that sometimes we can just take the leap of faith too fast, without checking the fact enough, and then we can put ourselves in some foreign territory and in some difficult situations. So that's why it's good to balance both Sagittarius and Gemini. It's like, oh, I want to go and do that thing. Let me first, get a little bit of fact and see if it can work out. Balancing the fact with your intuition and your inspiration. Sagittarius is also the law of nature. So, yeah, the law of nature, knowing the law of nature is also related to wisdom. The law of nature, such as the law of cause and effect, for example, which is a bit like karma. So this is wisdom. If you understand the law of cause and effect, then you'll be wise because you're like, if I do this action, then there will be that consequence, that I'll have later on. So yeah, it's under Sagittarius energy is about understanding that the cosmos is a living being, that nature is alive and the universe is alive, and that they are natural laws. Uh, yeah, and Sagittarius is also to do with teachers, priests, preachers. Yeah, Sagittarius sometimes have to watch out because they can be a bit like a know-it-all. People that you listen to them and they're like, oh, I've done this, I've been there, I've done that. They know everything. And that can be a bit arrogant, so because of overconfidence. Because Sagittarius, this, it's an energy of confidence. So yeah, we have to watch out not to be overconfident and shoot our own foot. Really, with Sagittarius, that's the most important warning to keep in mind. It's not to aim too far with our arrow and then fall on our face, you know. So, so yes, there is no bad aspect uh, at this full moon, really. And also the axis of Sagittarius and Gemini has to do with information exchange and understanding knowledge. It's about gathering knowledge and then sharing it with others, or having a lot of data, a lot of information, and then, trying to understand it with a deeper meaning. So first of all, that means that when there is a full moon in Sagittarius, such as now, we can say that for all of us, to some extent, there's going to be a news that will come out, and the news guy that is going to be revealed, okay, in the Sagittarius area of your chart. Because yeah, Gemini and Sagittarius also has to do with our IDs, and yeah, and seeing the bigger picture of life, seeing the bigger picture of your plan, finding a deeper meaning in life. But again, as always, when there is a full moon, it's not like an eclipse, and even with an eclipse, but when there is a full moon, for now, I'm talking about today, with this full moon, well, it's not all of us are going to have such a drastic news come out and it's going to alter the course of our lives and be so important. Um, to some extent, yes, we're all going to feel it, but obviously you have to see if you have any ascendant, midheaven, or planets, important point or important planet in the middle of Gemini or in the middle of Sagittarius. And also if you have it as a square, if you have any planet, for example, let's say from 5 to 15 of all the mutable sign. Okay, if you have any 5 to 15 of Virgo, 5 to 15 of Pisces, 5 to 15 of Sagittarius, 5 to 15 of Gemini. If you have anything there, then yes, you will be most impacted, especially if it's your ascendant or your midheaven or your moon or your sun. Then yeah, for you that can have much more importance. But let's say if you've got empty houses and there is nothing there, so you won't feel it as much. It's just to say that although there's this big hype, that a lot of people are doing every time there's a full moon and a new moon, you have to put things in your own context, and that it will apply to you only if there is an aspect, a conjunction or an opposition or a square, then yeah, it can impact your life, and cause some changes. Especially this is a full moon in mutable sign. Mutable sign is already a signs that talk about change, adaptation, flexibility. So things are going to change at this full moon. If they impact you, you have to adjust to things. But let me carry on and then I'll explain further. So, and the sun is in Gemini. So this is when the sun is to do with clarity, clear vision. The sun is our vitality, our energy. It's what brings you light, brings you strength. If you got a strong sun in your chart, then you can see, for example, if you are someone, that's got a strong head, that's got a lot of energy, a lot of vitality. Where the sun shines is what awakens your spirits, to feel alive. So the sun in Gemini, yes, it shines light on the data and information. And so now that means that our understanding of what is ending or what needs to be completed is now being understood because we see the bigger picture with more wisdom. And we have gained more wisdom since the last new moon that was in Gemini. Now we are coming full cycle. And also, when there is a full moon in Sagittarius, it's highly likely that there is going to be some drama, some change, and most importantly, with Venus conjuncting Jupiter, there is a hidden gift for us at this full moon. Because like I said, the ruler of this full moon is conjuncting with Venus, and it's worth checking out when this is going to be exact, this conjunction. I think it's the 9th of June, 8th of June. Yeah, 8th of June. Yeah, on the 9th of June, as you see, 25, Venus and Jupiter will exactly be conjuncting. So this is what we are moving towards, the 9th of June. And also, so not only this, this is actually the most beneficial conjunction in astrology, Venus and Jupiter, because they are the most beneficial two planets. Everyone wants to have Jupiter and Venus conjunct in their birth chart. And if you don't have it in your birth chart, then now is the time to take the opportunity of it. And like I said before, even this is even more powerful now because Jupiter is exalted. And not only that, but Venus is conjunct with the fixed star Sirius. As you can see here, see like where I'm moving my arrow, Venus Sirius. So it's only, yeah, it's nearly exact to this fixed star. So what does it mean when Sirius is also a beneficial fixed star? It's also a positive fixed star that brings good things. Therefore, when Venus is with Sirius, then we're gonna get, and Jupiter, we're gonna get even more glamour. Even more glamour, beauty is going to bring some refinement to Venus. And it's going to bring some magnetic charm, a love of artistic pursuits, and a desire for harmonious and luxurious relationships. So that's a big gift, that's a big blessing, this conjunction. So after some harsh news that could be coming, because this moon, I will speak about it in this video later or onto another video that I'm going to do shortly after. But yeah, this moon is conjunct, as you can see, the fixed star Antares, and the sun is conjunct the fixed star Aldebaran, which I will speak about in more details in another video. But for now, into a nutshell, this is what I'm saying. This means that there's going to be, through some difficult news that's coming out, will come a blessing, basically. And because of this, Venus and Jupiter both in Cancer, this improves the matters of your Cancer house of your chart, and also Taurus and Libra houses, because Venus rules Taurus and she rules Libra. So the blessing is going to be linked to your Taurus house, Libra house, and of course, Cancer house. If any of you wants to know where this is in your chart, you can go in the link in the description below this video, and then I will send you your own birth chart if you want to find it out. However, for now, know that this is highly likely going to bring some peaceful resolution and some harmony. Because there is nothing, everything is good. The moon and Cancer itself, it's a generous energy. And Jupiter also wants to bring good. Jupiter is also about justice and education, philosophy of life, the meaning of life. Can be about teaching matters. And yeah, in Cancer, it's about nourishment, emotional nurturing. Cancer is our connection to the past, to our family, to our childhood memories, to our ancestors' history, our family past. Cancer is to do with unprocessed feelings, repressed feelings, because Cancer rules over the chest, where the breasts are, our this area. That's why when we have people, where some people, when some people repressed their feelings, you imagine it's in this part of your chest. We think about like, oh, someone is repressing their feelings. And so, where Cancer is about emotional grudges. Yeah, so with this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, this means that this is an opportunity to heal those things I just said about. It's about emotional healing. Okay, healing to do with your family, maybe healing issues to do with motherhood, right? It could even be healing to do with your hometown, where you come from. So this is where all the goodies can be. And yeah, so this mean because this full moon is ruled by Jupiter, and therefore this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter is emphasized. This means that there's going to be a nice break for us in this area of our life. Because Venus in Cancer is about the love of our country, the love for family, and we also have to watch out for not to be too needy or too smothering, because Venus in Cancer can be needy. Uh, yeah, but overall, this conjunction is going to bring some events, some news, some completion, some conclusion that is going to bring some bliss, happiness, and joy. So from now up to the 9th of June, when this conjunction is exact, and this full moon effect will still be will still be under the full moon effect on the 9th of June. Then at that time, if you want to initiate an important thing, then it's a good time to do it. Anything that has to do with real estate, love, romance, children, your family, uh, relocation in your hometown, all this, then it's a good time to start something new. Yeah, because Venus and Jupiter it's something that's going to be nourishing you, nurturing you. And most importantly, not long after, because you see Mercury is at 28th of Gemini. So it's only a few days after that Mercury is going to also go on the 2nd of June. Mercury is also going to go in Cancer. And then Mercury also is going to join with Jupiter. Let me just check. Jupiter will leave before. So Mercury is going to basically go up to this degree of where Jupiter and Venus are conjuncting, and that's where Mercury is going to station. So let me just check again. So this at 25. This conjunction Venus and Jupiter, they are 25. So, and you see that Mercury in Cancer is going to retrograde station. So it's going to stay there for a little while it moved into the other direction. Now it's at 25. Mercury is at 25 of Cancer. And then you see at 26. So Mercury is going to go back there and how should I say, highlight, bring back some of this conjunction energy again. And Mercury is symbolized. If you see Mercury symbol, it's a health symbol. Um, so this is why Mercury is ruling Virgo, which also Virgo has to do with health. So Mercury is also a healer. So you see that this is why this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter is an opportunity for healing. And then Mercury is also going to be there, bringing another opportunity for healing in this area of your chart. When Mercury is going to enter Cancer, and something new will be starting in Cancer, and then it will retrograde in Cancer. So we will be reviewing the matter of the house of Cancer also. So healing in Cancer, emotional healing is highly favored now. For example, from some past wounds, then you can expect it to be healed. So look where you have Cancer in your chart. And it's obviously linked to your house where you have Sagittarius and Gemini, right? Uh, but yeah, so what can it be also with Jupiter and Venus? It's also to do with healing matter with that can be matter to do with women, or it could be that at this moment in time you're going to have more than usual some women around you as well. Uh, Also, Venus and Jupiter together can be an influential woman, a wise woman. Uh, yeah. So, and this is where there is Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. Now, at this time, we will need to define what is most truly important to us, what matters most to our heart. And this is where we will aim our arrow towards. This is where we will redirect ourselves and we will go towards what our heart desire is. So the what we have to watch for with this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter is you have to watch also your expenses because Jupiter and Venus, the worst that can happen is too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing can kill you. For example, if someone is addicted, it might feel good, but it might kill them, isn't it? So you have to watch because this can be an energy of shopping and buying stuff. So you have to watch for spending, to not spend too much uh, in matters to do with real estate also. So, but that on the other side of the coin, like I said, it can be some good news to do with your real estate business, so or with your home. So this is about asking ourselves what's important to us emotionally. What is nurturing, what is purposeful, and then go for it. Right. So go for it because Jupiter, you see here, Jupiter is conjunct with this other fixed star that's called Pollux. So, and this with this Pollux, that means that an opportunity can come, but then it can quickly go. So this is not well, if you've got if and when you get an opportunity at the time of this full moon over the next 2 weeks, or if you already had it in the last few days, then just like I said, just go for it. Don't take too long. It's because I will show you now that when this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter is going to be exact, right? It's going to be conjuncting another fixed star called Procyon. Both Jupiter and Venus, they are conjunct Procyon, this fixed star. So, and I know about this fixed star. That's why I say this, because you see in my chart, Mars is here and it's conjunct Procyon. So I have experienced this over and over. And so I thought it's worth mentioning that when the opportunity will come and the aspect will be exact and they're both going to be in this fixed star. So you have to take the opportunity when it comes and do not wait, because this fixed star Procyon sits in the constellation of Canis Minor, the small dog. This is a star of transition and of changing from one state to another. You must take advantage of all the opportunities that come along under this star, as they will quickly fade, quickly come and go. So there is a brief window of time to act. This is a star of short-term success and gains, of doing well or of being favored before returning back to where you came from. So the advice is to take the opportunity quickly, but don't take it for granted. And also, if it's an opportunity, that boosts your ego, or that, opportunity that brings you some advantages. If you get something good about it, don't go and boast about it. Don't just, you have to be humble. Take the opportunity quickly. Don't take it for granted, and just stay humble. And also, with this fixed star, whatever come, you have to keep working on it for it to last over time. So it's good to be aware of it, because as I have my Mars exactly there, I see it happen all the time. So if I get an opportunity and then I say to this person, let me think about it, 2 days, 3 days, it happens all the time that then the opportunity is gone. The person is gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, so when you have an opportunity with it, obviously sometimes you have to think things before you say yes. But if you can't, just say yes right now. And if you have to think, just think quickly. Because too often, there's an opportunity and then you take too long and it's gone. And then another thing is that when you get the opportunity, then you have to, you have to keep working at this, because often you get an opportunity, it will last a few months, and then it will be gone, like it never was there anymore before. So you have to, beware that when you get an opportunity, it's good, but don't take it for granted. Uh, yeah, so let me go back to this full moon, because I just went in the future. Yeah, back here where this Venus Jupiter is, and this full moon is. Okay, so yeah, so take the opportunity like I already explained, and also why be aware that now whatever opportunity is there, it's a great chance and we should go for it. Is that this is the last month when Jupiter is going to be exalted for 12 years, because Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the whole zodiac. And you see now he's close to entering Leo. And when Jupiter is in Leo, it's not bad, because it's a fire sign. Fire sign. So Jupiter likes to be in fire signs because his home is in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. However, when Jupiter is going to be in Leo, we are still downgrading a little bit, because Jupiter is not going to be exalted anymore. So there's going to be a little bit of an energetic drop when Jupiter exits his exaltation sign. So this really is the last best, the last boost of this Jupiter exaltation that we're going to get. So the best way to take advantage of an opportunity is to be aware of it. So now you know. Yeah, because Jupiter expands our Jupiter expand your vision of the possibility that are available to you. And now we can clearly see it. Especially because, like I said, as this full moon is conjunct this fixed star Antares, that means that at this full moon, somehow we have been, there has been some exposure. You know, we have seen some kind of darkness of people who lack integrity, people without integrity, someone in your life who has integrity. Maybe it was about betrayal, something like that has been exposed, and out of this bad news, a blessing will come. So there's been some exposure of some kind of horrors. Because Antares is in the heart of the Scorpio. So we have seen the heart of the matter. We have seen the truth of some matter. And the truth in the heart of Scorpio, it has been a dark truth that we have seen. And this is what is propelling us into action, into now following taking a different direction, following our heart, doing what matters to us. Because sometimes it takes a bad event for change to happen. So, but like I said, I would do another video about this fixed star, so I'm not saying about it too much now because then it's too overwhelming. And then I don't want this video to be too long. So, yeah, what we can say also is that we are encouraged now. You are, advised to see the bright side of life, because Sagittarius is about seeing the glass half full. It's about seeing the bright side of life. This full moon can help you to move in the direction of your heart's desire, in the direction of what is most important for you. Because we are now seeing some truth about a person, an institution, or a situation which lacks integrity. So at first, this is upsetting, but because of it, we are setting our arrow towards a new direction, much more aligned with our belief system and with our heart's desires, and with what fulfill our emotional life. Now we can move into a new direction, go on to a new adventure that makes us happier. And one that makes us better nurture the people around us. And also where we can also nurture our own emotions. So with this full moon in Sagittarius and this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, this is all about realizing what we really enjoy learning and what kind of experiences and adventures truly delights us, and then to go for it. So thank you to have watched this video. Feel free to check out the link below this description if you want me to do your chart reading, ask me a question, or, check out my services on my website. And if you just subscribe, I can send you for free your upcoming transit for the upcoming year, and also your birth chart details, so you can know all the houses of your chart and where your planets are located in your chart. If you have any other questions, you can always send me an email. I hope you get something useful from this video, and I will do another one shortly about these fixed stars and other stuff. Thank you for your time. I'm very grateful if you stay to the end. Take care and bye for now.